Regardless of the strong opposition from the international community, on November 2nd, Tokyo Electric Power Company, the operator of Japan's Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, initiated its third operation to release nuclear contaminated water into the ocean. Japanese officials assert that the first two operations of the nuclear contaminated water release proceeded without any issues. However, on October 25th, TEPCO's nuclear contaminated water treatment operation experienced an incident involving the splattering of radioactive waste liquid. The actual amount of radioactive waste liquid splashed was more than dozens of times higher than the initially reported 100 milliliters. 2 employees were in critical condition and were urgently sent to the hospital. One man was exposed to radiation over his entire body except for his face, while the other man's hands and lower body were irradiated. Earlier on October 11th, the Nuclear Regulation Authority, responsible for overseeing the nuclear energy safety in Japan, discreetly published a document on its official website. The document admitted that TEPCO conducted an internal investigation of the Unit 1 reactor vessel in March, confirming damage to the concrete surrounding its base. Due to the high radiation level inside the structure of Unit 1 radiator, it is challenging to carry out detailed investigations and condition assessments after the incident. This document uses numerous technical jargons, making it difficult for laypersons to understand, and it is placed in an inconspicuous corner of the official website. This is in line with TEPCO's consistent approach, a lethal mixture of a long-standing history of internal management disarray and a non-eradicable habit of concealing and deceiving of the public. Despite such painstaking efforts, the truth cannot be easily concealed. Fukushima nuclear contaminated water is significantly different from that produced by regular nuclear power plants. While wastewater from regular nuclear power plants does not come into direct contact with the radiator core, Fukushima's nuclear contaminated water has been in direct contact with the radiator core due to the nuclear disaster, containing a wider variety and higher levels of radioactive material. The International Atomic Energy Agency previously expressed approval of Japan's discharge plan without a comprehensive investigation into the operation of Advanced Liquid Proceeding System and completely ignored the presence of highly radioactive fuel debris. Nearly 1,000 cubic meters of contaminated water for every 10 days. In addition, the emission plan failed to conduct a comprehensive environmental impact assessment as required by international law, risking significant transboundary hazard to neighboring countries. In fact, the aftermath resulting from the Fukushima nuclear disaster have not yet concluded. Many people who were forced to leave their homes in the affected area are still struggling as evacuees. The class action lawsuit filed by the evacuees against the government and TEPCO involves over 12,000 plaintiffs across the country. Japan's actions have been met with strong oppositions from fishing groups, environmentalists, and neighboring countries. In South Korea, tens of thousands of people took the streets to protest, criticizing the Yoon Suk-yeol government for taking an ineffective stance against nuclear contaminated water discharge whilst groveling to mend relations with Japan. Greenpeace has pointed out that the Fukushima nuclear contaminated water discharge operation ignored scientific evidence and public opinions while violating the basic rights of residents in Japan, the surrounding Pacific areas, and even the world in general. In the 12 years since the Fukushima nuclear accident, TEPCO's handling of the aftermath has been plagued with flaws, including numerous instances of delayed and concealed publicity, tampering with critical data, and prioritizing corporate interests over environmental safety and public health. How can a company with such a poor track record ensure safe and reliable discharge management over a period of 30 years? How can we be reassured of the discharge plan's safety and transparency as Japan so claimed? The current protest actions are far from sufficient. All those who care about the future of the Earth and the fate of humanity should come together to denounce and resist such crimes against humanity.